the reporter's like, I just don't know how people can't get together. I mean, this is such a good idea. Why can't we all just get along? I mean, this is a noble enterprise. Obamacare, forcing people to purchase a product. He didn't say that. Roll it.
Okay, finally, I mean, this is such a contentious issue. I don't know why people can't come together a little more often to throw full support behind reforming our healthcare system.
I know.
Our premiums keep going up. Healthcare costs are through the roof. You know, not everybody's covered.
Well, and that's why this is so important. And what we've seen over the last 4 years since our health care plan was passed is we've had less increase in premiums than ever before in the last 50 years. And so we're beginning to, as we say, reduce those costs. And that's a big part of the Affordable Care Act, is that we want to emphasize outcomes, not just how many tests the physician orders, but how can we actually have patients, Americans, be healthier. And it was contentious when it was, being litigated in Washington, but now that it's touching people's lives, and I hear so many stories of people who, signed up in December, had something happen in January, went in and they're getting treatment, children with pre-existing conditions who couldn't get covered before. Now everyone is covered, regardless of whether or not you have a pre-existing condition. There are just so many advantages to the health care law, and I think now that it's being implemented, people will see just how it touches their lives and the lives of their family members.
Valerie Jarret, yeah. And that's out of Los Angeles, by the way. KCBS. So let's talk about let's break down. Premiums were projected to go down $2,500. They've gone up by $2,500. And the double-digit increases in premium costs, when we look overall, that was a part of it. So, okay, cost. She talked about cost immediately. We just addressed the cost. Really not square with the truth. So why aren't people signing up? And then we go to the people pre-existing conditions, which represents about 1%. And we did have high-risk pools to take care of them. Were they perfect? No. Could they have been improved? Yes. But they are doing, the system before is better than what they have now. And now you have people having to purchase insurance with all the bells and whistles that they do not want. We've seen the impact on employment because it acts as a disincentive to hire more, because you will incur more costs. It will cost 2.5 million jobs. And why isn't everybody just signing up? Well, we can also talk about the navigators. We could talk about taking the incentive out of medicine for doctors. I mean, we can go right down the list, but this is the type of question that she was asked. I wonder if this was a morning show of, hey, let's do this, but we're getting an Obamacare push about 7 million. Oh yeah, it's not 7 million. It was 7 million. They said 7 million. Now it's 6 million. They've had 4 million. How many people have paid? Maybe it's in their cart. What are the numbers like? But it doesn't address well, let's stick to that. 25% of the people are the young invincibles that have signed up so far. They need 40. What happens to insurance costs when they do not? I got news for you. They go up. And that's why they wrote in the bailout, by the way, because they knew this. The bill is 3 times what it was projected to cost, and we're not even really at the beginning of all of this. We were just at the beginning of all this. So she's going on and just spinning it. And yeah, I think it is frustrating when we have somebody who is so close and saying, oh, it's just great. Yeah, health insurance companies across the country are seeking double-digit premium increases. We were told about this. 6 million people have lost their health insurance. Now, they may go get other insurance, but they've lost their health insurance. That was a promise that was broken. These are things that are a problem when you have somebody there basically saying everything's wonderful and I just don't know why everybody can get together and we're going to take care of the people. The 1% or the 2.4 to 2.8% of the cost, if we're dealing with costs that were from emergency rooms not getting compensated. Remember, that was another big push. Much like everything else. I'll go to the stimulus just for a moment here because this is the gem. It's about infrastructure and jobs. I will go to say 3 and go so far as to say 9% actually made of the stimulus made it to infrastructure. 9 is incredibly generous. 3 is more just the basic reality. Veronique Desrouget has done some great work over at the Mercatus Center. You might want to check that out because they have analyzed it. They've broken it down. The $850 billion stimulus, no, afterwards it's about $1.5 trillion. So costs always go up. Then they focus on, what are they focusing on? The people that are hurt, in need, that we all want to help. We all want to help because we recognize God created them like he created us. That they're unique, that God loves them like he loves us. God loves his creations, and they're worth it. But what does it say about somebody who takes people in need and makes them the focus, doesn't fix the problem, and exacerbates it, all the while overstepping the bounds and sacrificing all of our liberty in the sense of all of us? You see, that's the problem here. Businesses, private businesses, you know what we have to do? You know what we have to do. Those of you, families, women, men who run businesses, when there's a problem, what do you have to do? You have to go out there and lie about it, manipulate it? No, you got to fix it. You got to fix the problem. In politics, it's a different story. It's certainly a different story when you're getting taxpayer dollars and you can print money and steal from the next generation. You may not view it that way, but that's the reality. And we've seen that time and time again. On the flip side, the truth about the contraception debate and discussion before the Supreme Court. It's about abortifacients, it's about religious liberty, and they're making it about everything else. I'll explain why. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth, proudly on, say it with me now, EFR Talk, nothing but truth.